Imagine a composer so prolific his works could fill a library. This was Georg Philipp Telemann, a master of the Baroque era. He wasn't just productive, he was a musical chameleon. Telemann moved effortlessly between styles and genres. From sacred cantatas to playful concertos, his output was staggering. Born in 1681, Telemann's life spanned a period of great musical change. Yet Telemann carved his own distinct path. Join us as we delve into the extraordinary life and works of this Baroque master. Telemann's musical journey began not with a silver spoon, but with a wooden flute. Born into a family with no professional musical background, young Georg's passion for music was self-ignited. He taught himself to play various instruments, devouring any musical score he could find. While his family initially discouraged his musical pursuits, Telemann's talent couldn't be contained. He continued to study and compose in secret, honing his skills. At the tender age of 12, Telemann composed his first opera, a testament to his prodigious talent. Despite his obvious gifts, pressure mounted for Telemann to pursue a more respectable career. He enrolled at Leipzig University to study law, as was his family's wish. Telemann's time in Leipzig marked a turning point. He abandoned his legal studies, fully embracing his calling as a musician. His reputation as a composer and performer spread rapidly. He received commissions from churches and noble courts alike. Telemann's ability to adapt his style to any occasion was remarkable. He composed sacred music that resonated in grand cathedrals and intimate chapels. His secular works, from operas to concertos, were met with equal enthusiasm. His works were performed throughout Germany and beyond, establishing him as one of the leading composers of his time. Georg Philipp Telemann was born in 1681 in Magdeburg, Germany. Though not from a family of musicians, young Georg displayed an almost supernatural affinity for music at a very early age. Despite their reservations, his family allowed him to take keyboard and violin lessons. These early experiences ignited a passion in Telemann that would shape his destiny. He spent countless hours practicing, his small hands navigating the keys and strings with increasing dexterity. His teachers, recognizing his exceptional gift, encouraged him to explore different instruments and musical styles. Telemann's hometown, Magdeburg, boasted a rich musical culture, and he eagerly soaked it all in. His thirst for musical knowledge was insatiable, driving him to explore beyond the confines of his lessons. As Telemann grew older, his passion for music only intensified. He sought out every opportunity to learn and experiment, often teaching himself new instruments and delving into complex musical scores. He devoured the works of the great composers of the time, analyzing their techniques and incorporating their influences into his own compositions. This autodidactic spirit became a hallmark of Telemann's approach to music. He was drawn to the works of Italian composers like Corelli and Vivaldi. He also immersed himself in the music of French and German masters. Telemann's ability to synthesize these diverse influences into a cohesive and original style would become one of his defining characteristics as a composer. Despite his family's concerns, Telemann continued to compose in secret, filling notebooks with his musical ideas. In 1701, at the age of 20, Telemann enrolled at the University of Leipzig. His family had encouraged him to study law, but Leipzig was a city teeming with musical opportunities. He joined student musical ensembles, performing both as a violinist and a keyboardist. Word of his abilities reached the ears of prominent figures in Leipzig's musical circles. He received commissions to compose for local churches and even for the opera house. Telemann found himself torn between his academic pursuits and his burgeoning musical career. The demands of composing, rehearsing, and performing left him with little time for his legal studies. Telemann stood at a crossroads, facing a pivotal decision that would shape his destiny. Telemann's operatic output was as impressive as it was varied. He embraced the Italian style with its dramatic arias and recitatives, but infused it with his own distinct flavor. His operas were known for their engaging plots, often drawn from mythology, history, and literature. One of his most celebrated operas, Pimpinone, tells the story of a cunning maid who uses her wit and charm to marry her wealthy master. This comic opera, with its clever libretto and catchy melodies, became an instant hit. Telemann understood the power of music to heighten emotions and drive the narrative forward. His operas were not limited to the grand stages of major cities. This adaptability ensured that his operas were enjoyed by audiences from all walks of life. Telemann's output of vocal music was simply astonishing. He composed over 1,000 cantatas, sacred and secular, for a wide range of occasions. These works showcased his mastery of choral writing and his ability to convey deep emotions through music. His sacred cantatas were renowned for their spiritual depth and their ability to move listeners. His secular cantatas were often light-hearted and entertaining, celebrating love, nature, and the joys of life. Telemann also composed numerous oratorios, large-scale works for soloists, chorus, and orchestra. One of his most famous oratorios, The Day of Judgment, depicts the end of the world with both awe and terror. Telemann's vocal works were some of the most celebrated of the Baroque era. Telemann's instrumental music was equally impressive. He composed concertos for a wide range of instruments, from the traditional violin and oboe to the more unusual trumpet and viola da gamba. His concertos were known for their virtuosic solo parts and vibrant orchestral writing. He embraced the concerto grosso form popularized by Corelli and Vivaldi. Telemann's concertos were often infused with elements of dance music. He also composed numerous sonatas, chamber works for a smaller group of instruments. His sonatas were known for their melodic charm, intricate counterpoint, and emotional depth. Telemann's instrumental music displayed his exceptional craftsmanship and melodic invention. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Telemann was a savvy businessman. He understood the power of print and actively sought to publish his compositions. This foresight ensured that his music reached a far larger audience. His published works were highly sought after by musicians and music lovers alike. They included collections of concertos, sonatas, cantatas, and other works. Telemann's decision to publish his music had a profound impact on the dissemination of his musical ideas. His published works served as valuable resources for aspiring composers. By making his music widely available, he ensured that his genius would continue to resonate long after his lifetime. Telemann's genius shone brightly in his gift for melody. He possessed an uncanny knack for crafting tunes that were both memorable and expressive. His melodies flowed effortlessly, often taking unexpected turns. He used melody to tell stories, evoke emotions, and paint vivid pictures. His melodies could be joyous and exuberant, or tender and melancholic. He was a master of capturing the essence of a mood or a moment. His melodies were often infused with elements of folk music. This fusion of styles gave his melodies a unique and irresistible appeal. Telemann was not content to simply follow the harmonic conventions of his time. He delighted in surprising the listener with unexpected chord changes. He wasn't afraid to use dissonance to great effect. His use of dissonance was always carefully calculated to heighten the emotional impact. Telemann's harmonic language was colourful and imaginative. He was particularly fond of using chromaticism to add richness and complexity. His chromatic passages often created a sense of yearning or longing. Telemann's harmonic innovations set him apart from his contemporaries. Telemann's innovative spirit extended beyond melody and harmony to the very structure of his music. He was a master of musical form, understanding the importance of balance, contrast, and development. He constantly experimented with established forms, bending and shaping them to fit his own creative vision. He expanded the traditional three-movement structure of concertos. His concertos were like miniature symphonies, full of dramatic contrasts and virtuosic displays. He also made significant contributions to the development of the sonata form. His sonatas often featured extended development sections. Telemann's structural innovations were a testament to his deep understanding of musical architecture. A fusion of styles, the Cosmopolitan Composer. Telemann was a true citizen of the world, musically speaking. He traveled extensively throughout Europe, absorbing musical influences and incorporating them into his compositions. He blended Italian melody, French elegance, Polish rhythms, and German mastery into a unique style. His music was a melting pot of influences, reflecting the cosmopolitan spirit of the Enlightenment. The Stolen Opera, a tale of youthful audacity. Telemann's youthful passion for music often led him to challenge conventions. While studying law in Leipzig, he couldn't resist the allure of the opera house. The opera was under strict control of the university authorities. Undeterred, Telemann decided to take matters into his own hands. He secretly composed an opera using a pseudonym. With cunning and youthful bravado, he got his opera staged. The performance was a resounding success. The university officials were less than thrilled. Telemann's talent was celebrated. His audacity earned him admiration and notoriety. This incident became a legendary tale in Telemann's life story. It cemented his reputation as a rising star in the musical firmament. A musical duel. Telemann, Bach, and a battle of genius. Telemann and Johann Sebastian Bach, two giants of the Baroque era, shared a complex and fascinating relationship. They were contemporaries, both born in the same region of Germany, and their paths crossed numerous times throughout their careers. While a spirit of mutual respect existed between them, there was also an undercurrent of rivalry, particularly in their younger years. One anecdote speaks volumes about their competitive spirit. The story goes that Telemann, then the music director in Frankfurt, was offered a prestigious position in Hamburg. He declined the offer, recommending Bach for the position instead. Bach, however, was hesitant to accept, perhaps intimidated by the high standards Telemann had set in Frankfurt. To persuade Bach, Telemann reportedly sent him a package containing a challenging piece of music he had composed, essentially a musical duel in absentia. Bach, rising to the challenge, responded with an equally complex and virtuosic composition. This exchange, a testament to their mutual respect and their shared passion for pushing the boundaries of musical expression, showcased the genius of both composers. The gracious mentor nurturing the next generation. Telemann's generosity extended beyond fellow composers. He was a dedicated teacher, guiding many students. One of his famous pupils was Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach. Under Telemann's guidance, Carl Philipp Emanuel flourished. Telemann's legacy as a teacher is significant. His passion for teaching inspired generations of musicians. A legacy in letters Telemann's pen beyond music. Telemann's talents were not confined to music. His letters provide a fascinating glimpse into his life and thoughts. Correspondence reveals a man of wit and intelligence. His letters are a treasure trove for music historians. They reveal his warmth, humor, and humanity. The Hamburg Hub, a magnet for musicians. Telemann's influence was profound and far-reaching. As music director in Hamburg, he was central to the European musical landscape. Musicians flocked to Hamburg to hear his music and experience the vibrant scene. His concerts were legendary, featuring his works and those of other composers. He championed his contemporaries, providing a platform for their talents. His support launched many young musicians' careers, solidifying Hamburg's musical innovation. A legacy of innovation, shaping musical forms. Telemann's innovative approach to composition left a lasting legacy on musical forms. His willingness to experiment with traditional structures and blend styles influenced generations. His concertos paved the way for the symphony in the classical era. His sonatas influenced chamber music. His vocal works influenced opera and oratorio. His legacy is evident in the music of Haydn, Mozart, and Beethoven. Echoes of Telemann, from Bach to the present. Telemann's influence echoes through the music of countless composers, from his successors to present-day artists. His impact is evident in Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach's works, carrying Telemann's style into the classical period. Telemann's music influenced Handel, Haydn, Mozart and Beethoven, admired for his contrapuntal skill and dramatic flair. His timeless music continues to inspire, ensuring his legacy as a Baroque innovator endures. Rediscovering a master Telemann in modern light. Telemann's reputation suffered after his death, overshadowed by Johann Sebastian Bach. The sheer volume of his work made it difficult to grasp his achievements. The 20th century saw a renewed interest in Baroque music. Musicologists unearthed forgotten masterpieces, revealing his innovative techniques. The early music movement allowed audiences to hear Telemann's music authentically. Telemann is now seen as a true master of the Baroque, captivating audiences. The enduring magic of Telemann. What is it about Telemann's music that continues to resonate with audiences centuries after it was written? Perhaps it is his gift for melody, his mastery of harmony, or his structural ingenuity. Whatever the reason, there is no denying the enduring magic of Telemann's music. It is music that speaks directly to the heart, transcending time and place. History can be a fickle judge. It can elevate figures to towering heights, only to relegate them to the shadows in later centuries. Georg Philipp Telemann experienced this ebb and flow of fortune. In his lifetime, he was a musical superstar, sought after, celebrated and admired throughout Europe. He was a composer of the people and for the elite, effortlessly traversing the social strata with his music. Yet, for a period, he was somewhat eclipsed by the towering presence of Johann Sebastian Bach. It was not a deliberate dismissal, but a consequence of shifting aesthetic tastes and the sheer volume of Telemann's output. It took time and dedicated scholarship to sift through his immense catalogue and rediscover the true depth and breadth of his genius. The 20th century revival of interest in Baroque music brought Telemann back into the limelight. His music, once dismissed by some as merely pleasant, was revealed to be much more. It was innovative, sophisticated, and emotionally resonant. His playful melodies, intricate harmonies, and masterful command of form captivated a new generation of listeners. Telemann's prolific output, once a hurdle to appreciating his true worth, is now recognized as a testament to his boundless creativity and versatility. His ability to compose effortlessly in a myriad of styles, from the sacred to the secular, from the operatic to the chamber, is nothing short of astounding. He absorbed the musical influences of his time, from Italian opera to French dance suites, and forged them into a distinct and compelling voice. His music is characterized by a remarkable blend of technical mastery and emotional depth. He could write fugues that would impress the most learned contrapuntalists, then turn around and compose arias of heart-wrenching beauty. His concertos sparkle with wit and virtuosity, while his chamber works offer moments of intimate conversation between instruments. Telemann's genius lay not just in his ability to write well, but to write exceptionally well in such a wide range of styles and genres. He was a musical chameleon, adapting his colors to suit the occasion, yet always retaining his unique voice. His music, whether a grand oratorio or a simple flute sonata, is imbued with an undeniable energy, a joie de vivre that continues to enchant listeners today. Telemann's music stands as a bridge between the Baroque and classical eras. He embraced the grandeur and complexity of the Baroque style, but also foreshadowed the elegance and clarity of the classical period. His concertos, with their expanded structures and emphasis on contrast, paved the way for the symphonies of Haydn and Mozart. His sonatas, with their emphasis on melodic development and thematic unity, influenced the development of sonata form, a cornerstone of classical music. His vocal works, with their dramatic flair and expressive melodies, left their mark on the operas and oratorios of the later 18th century. Telemann's influence wasn't limited to specific forms or styles. His true legacy lies in his spirit of innovation, his willingness to experiment, to blend, to push the boundaries of what was considered musically possible. He taught his students, including Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach, to respect tradition while embracing new ideas, a philosophy that would shape the future of music. Today, we are fortunate to live in an age where Telemann's music is more accessible than ever before. Thanks to the efforts of dedicated scholars, performers and recording artists, his vast catalogue is being explored and celebrated with renewed passion. We can now appreciate the full scope of his achievements, from his grandest oratorios to his most intimate chamber works. Listening to Telemann's music is like sitting down to a sumptuous feast. There is something for every taste, every mood, every occasion. His melodies dance and sparkle, his harmonies surprise and delight, his rhythms pulse with life. His music is a reminder that the Baroque era wasn't all about stately grandeur and complex counterpoint. It could also be filled with joy, humor, and sheer exuberance. So let us celebrate the genius of Georg Philipp Telemann, a composer who embraced life and music with equal passion. Let us delve into his vast and varied output, discovering new treasures with each listening experience. Let us marvel at his technical mastery, his melodic gifts, and his boundless creativity. And let us ensure that his music continues to enchant, inspire, and uplift generations to come.